Welcome everyone to Magic the Gathering Jank, where we talk about weird and wonderful cards you've probably never thought of playing. This is my test / pilot episode where it's going to be all about me showing my passion for Magic the Gathering with all of you to see if I can introduce a couple new players to the game, or show some of you players who know the game some cards you may never have seen. Today we're going to be discussing a simple card that by itself is not a win condition, but makes games a lot more entertaining, and that is Pyxis of Pandemonium. It's a 1-mana artifact that taps to exile the top cards of everyone's library face down, and then its second effect is to pay 7, tap this card and sacrifice it to put all those cards exiled back into play under their owner's control. So what they'll be losing is the instants, their sorceries, but they'll be gaining all lands, enchantments, planeswalkers, creatures, what have you, back into the battlefield. This card doesn't show a lot of power by itself, nor is it a heavy combo piece, but it does change the game in a very unique way because of its group hug effect. This card really is the Pandora's box of Magic the Gathering. It's fantastic for political games because players want to know what resources have been taken away from them, and the knowledge knowing they can get it back when you pay 7 into this card, which is not a hard capstone to meet. Couple mana rocks, couple ramp spells, anything like that, you can do it again. And you can keep this card around, keep activating it to take more resources, to keep them more in suspense. Anytime this card activates and brings the resources back, it will completely change the state of the game, whether it be a pathetic amount or a massive change in power shift to one player or another. This card can hide big creatures, big spells, big enchantments, and will often see one player go from last place to first because they've missed out on mana or other resources, or see a player who's already in a powerful position gain more power to what they already had. Any point of activating this card is hilarious, and most times it will stick around because players want to know what they've had taken away from them, and it will protect itself along the way. If I would suggest some homes for this card to fit into, I would definitely suggest group hug style decks. They want to protect themselves and give the other players enough resources to kill each other. So while you're sitting there just building up this Pyxis of Pandemonium, Pandora's box of the game, your opponents are slowly killing each other, they want the resources back, they know you're helping the board out, it is always hilarious when it goes off, and later on you could probably even use their resources against them. Other styles of deck you could make this work with are untapping heavy decks, which want to abuse the idea of untapping the card over and over, because you can essentially use this as a mill effect since it just taps to mill a card, even if you mill yourself. It could even work in Super Friends where you want to cheat out your own planeswalkers, which are very expensive and hard to cast. But one card which really shines this card is Prosper the Tome Bound. Prosper the Tome Bound is a 1/4 death touching creature which costs red, black and 2, and has 2 main effects. During your end step you exile the top card of your library and you may cast that card to the end of your next turn. But the more important part is whenever you play a card from exile, you create a treasure token. Pyxis of Pandemonium's big payoff is bringing back all the exiled cards under it, so on top of the resources you're gaining back from Pyxis, you're also gaining that number of treasure tokens as well. Of course your opponents are gaining the resources you've exiled as well, but let's face it, with you having more access to mana alongside of this, you can probably make better use of what comes back, and as long as you do it at the right timing with the right board wipes or removal, you can definitely make a game-winning play with this type of combination. This little artifact has a lot of potential for very weird builds, and I just enjoy it as part of my 99 due to its simple effect to make players laugh. Whenever they see it hit the table, they don't know what to expect because the resource is being taken away, and when it comes back, definitely change the game state in a way which everyone can enjoy, whether they've lost something important or gained something more important. It's always fun to see. Hopefully this card might just find its way into your future decks, and until next time, happy deck building. This is just a bonus to the outro a second since this is a new type of format and this is the first of the videos in this style of recording. I just want to know what you guys thought of the video and if you would like to see any improvement changes or if you just enjoyed it. This was a lot of fun to record and make, and I hope to make more in this style later on. This is my first time really editing a video to match a timing system, I guess, because a lot of times I record live since script writing isn't my strongest point, since as you can probably tell by a couple of the weird edits. This little bit here is like completely unscripted, so that is kind of why this is a lot more ums and ers than anything else. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and let me know in the comments what you thought about it. And until next time, genuinely, enjoy deck building, it's a lot of fun to do.